Hey, how's it going, Sai? We are just getting started here. I am getting organized, and let's see. You guys should be able to see me, and Chris is here, morning, and Atavirk over on the YouTube side. But yeah, get some sleep if you need to, Atavirk, for sure. I'm just on a little bit early. I have some college classes to run here in a little bit. Most of you guys know that I do like these huddle sessions with my college students on Saturdays, so I'm going to be doing that here in a little bit, but what I wanted to do was hop on and work on these courses. I realized that for the security course, I hadn't put together the lab yet, so I need to do the lab part real quick. And then probably just clean up some of this other stuff real quick, so that's what we're going to be working on. You guys are welcome to kind of hang out and do whatever works for you. Chris, thanks for the subscription with Prime. You could use that anywhere. You choose to use it here. That's kind of cool. Also, you don't get ads for a month, so if any of you guys do use your Prime here, you get to avoid ads, which I think is probably like everybody's main goal on Twitch, right? I even just pay for that service. I think it's their turbo, so I don't even have to see ads. But we've got to clean up. We've got a problem in the hammer block systems in that if I were to add... So let's do something here real quick. We don't need DNS. Let's say that we're DNF install MariaDB-server. I believe that's what we're calling it nowadays. Yep. When we do this install, I'll show you guys something that happens on the system because people are going to want to do this for the lab. Still wiping the sleep out of my eyes, guys. I just woke up a little while ago, so. Yeah, the ads. Yeah, Chris, trust me, the ads are wild. And also, there's like, if any of you guys know how streaming works, let me explain something real quick. You can't get away with not doing ads. Hold on one second, real quick. Hey, what's up? Okay. Yeah, you can do that if you want. All right, love you, bye. All right. The wife is bringing food home here in a little bit, so I might have to put this on hold here. But here's what we're doing. We're going to install this. We're going to work through. So I got a few things that we're doing over here. So on the right side of this, we're reviewing what is going to be the security class, right? And I'm just making sure that like my worksheet looks good for, I already actually gave some of this off to Treasure for that. I'm going to start to put the discussion questions up into the Discord so that people can start to work through those. I think all of these things are pretty good where I've got them. But what I wanted to add to was the digging deeper section. So the digging deeper on this will be research a risk management framework and so one of the risk management frameworks that's very common, if you do a NIST, risk management framework. This is actually a required, so look, they've even got an AI one out, looks like, but where's the risk management framework? 800-53 is the control for it, right? Let me see. I just want to find enterprise quick start one. There's some other ones. There's initial working drafts of things that were coming out. No, I want to find the actual. We'll start here. Their risk management framework is actually required. Here it is right here, yeah. This actually required 800-53 for like government projects to go through this. But I'm going to just go ahead and link this. What are, digging deeper, what are the essential activities, or what are the primary, what are the areas of concern for risk management. What process is defined? Let me switch this around. Actually, maybe we'll just leave that. It'll be fine. We don't need both. All right, that's good enough digging deeper, because people can spend. You could spend your whole career there, right? And that's not the goal of the course. The course is to deal with Linux security, and then have people understand some of the components that are, like, anything we do that's outside of touching an actual Linux box. Like we're going to do securing Linux here in a second in the lab, but anything outside of touching that is more of how we interact as like a security engineer with the business, if that kind of makes sense. I would tell you guys not to try to do risk management by hand. Yeah, there's Archer. There's all kinds of things that you can feed in and do that kind of stuff. It is huge. Yeah, Archer's huge. But we'll talk so risk management framework. I will also point out this other thing where it's so risk ALE and SLE. Let me see if I can find. I'm trying to find. I know the doctor's name, but I literally just can't think of this guy's name. But there's a doctor who was the one who originally wrote and described risk framework. I want to say it was in the 50s or 60s, and I know his name somewhere in the back of my brain. And when I see it, I'm going to be pissed, because it's like Dr. Hank or something. It's like some simple name. I just literally can't remember this dude's name. And hey, Leith, how's it going? And Raleigh, and Where My Teeth and all that stuff. Hopefully I'm not missing too much. I didn't even finish talking about the way ads work on the platform. But if you're going to get ads, if you're streaming, you're going to get ads. You have to have ads. But if you at least do a certain amount of ads per hour, you don't get this thing called pre-roll ads. Does everybody here know what pre-roll ads are? They're the worst thing on the platform. Because what happens is, let's say you were looking for somebody to learn Linux from, and you hop into my channel, and you get pre-roll ads. That means that for like a minute or two, you have to sit there and watch ads before you can even get into my stream. And that's diabolical, man. Literally nobody on planet Earth is going to sit through that. They're going to be like, fuck it, I'm going to go watch Dead by Daylight with somebody that I subscribe to, so I don't get any ads. So to allay that, or to bypass that as a streamer, you have to set, like, I think 3 minutes or 4 minutes of ads per hour. If I do that, then you guys get a lot of ads, but when you first come in, you don't get ads. Well, unless you come in on ads, I guess. So my point is, it's just, you shouldn't get any, Where My Teeth, you shouldn't get pre-roll ads on my channel. I have it set. Yeah, actually, if you're getting that, that's a problem I got to address, because I do a certain amount of ads, so I don't get pre-rolls. Well, damn it. That would probably explain why I don't have nearly as many friends as I'd like. I have it. I'm just kidding. God, what's this doctor's name? And you literally can't search for his name, because you have to find it. I want to just go Google. Because if you say, like, who originally wrote it, you'll get a billion different answers before it ever gets to that. But I just can't find this guy's effing name. I mean, I don't want to go too far down looking for that right now. But the quantitative, I mean, it is quantitative risk. I might say digging deeper, research the difference between quantitative and qualitative risks. Why might you use one or the other? And then this last one would be research ALE, SLE, and ARO. What are these terms in relation to? How do these help? Just in the risk discussion. Again, the course we're doing, guys, is not to make you experts on risk analysis. I have risk management stuff that we talk about in some of our presentations. I have this one. There's like a quick little one that I put together. And damn it, a while back, which dealt with risk management. Like, what is risk management? Fucking, I cannot stand how if you put something over the front of another PowerPoint, it locks your mouse so you can't see it. It's super annoying. Hold on a second. But anyways, yeah, risk management and the way that we kind of own risks. But this is qualitative versus quantitative, and where we get into these kind of things and that kind of stuff, right? And then we get into security risks and different types of things that are out there and how we deal with risks and, you know, all kinds of stuff. That's a different presentation I have. I think that's up in the Discord somewhere. But we found all that stuff. Okay, let's get this out of the way. We've installed this. So real quick, I installed all this stuff. It did not install a user. Oh, is it just MySQL? SQL. What the hell is the name of that user? Oh, I hope if I had status spelled right. All right. What's going on here? Yeah, user's MySQL. Let's see. So that's a part of the problem. Where am I? Okay, 3:30. Just binge on Linux. Is it David's? No, that doesn't sound right. But that would be. I'm gonna look that up just to see if you're. I'm probably wrong. Oh, is it Spiegelhalter? I did a lot of stuff. Did he publish that though? He did a lot of Bayesian. Huh. I think it might have been Winton, actually. But that is a good start. Whatever. I want Dr. Winton in there. Anyways, I think it was the name Winton, actually. But anyways, this guy probably worked on it, since I'm pretty sure. It looks like he's in charge of it right now, or he was in charge of it until he passed. Okay, we'll get back to that stuff. I'm missing a lot of chat, guys, but I'm kind of focused here. Alex said, what are we working on? Prepping for sleep. No, you guys can, if you're prepping for sleep, go to sleep. Obviously. The Discord will tell you guys when the courses are starting. The Linux sysadmin course is starting in, that's about 6 hours from now, 6.5 hours from right now. That's my time, right? For you guys, it'll be whatever your time is. And then the Linux security engineering course, that's about, so let's see, if that's 6.5, then that's probably about 8.5 hours will be that one. So yeah, that'll all be coming up. But what I want to do, I want to get this set up for, so it couldn't create the user. That's not going to start because the user doesn't exist, right? So we're going to go back to Werewolf and make the user MySQL. Home directory MySQL already exists, not copying the file from scale directly into it. That's fine. It's probably there because it's already linked and it's already there. And then let's say wwctl configure. We'll just do all. So it'll redo the host and the DHCP and all those different things. And then if we SSH back to like hammer 2, and we do an ID for MySQL, we still don't see a user. Werewolf client. So we're going to restart the Werewolf client, so hopefully it'll go and it'll grab its most recent version of yeah, so see how he's grabbing his runtime because he just restarted. That's what we wanted. Still doesn't have that, so that's not being passed. Alright, let's reboot him. I'm not missing anything. Demi A said, how do you join the course? Oh, you just go into the Discord. So we've got a Discord, and all you have to do, give me a second here. I beat you to it. There you go. There's our Discord link. For people on YouTube, if it doesn't work correctly, sometimes people have to go into like incognito or just like whatever Chrome calls it tab so that it doesn't have anything else. But what you end up doing is you just jump into our Discord and then you go up to the events and you just say you're coming. It's free. All you gotta do is show up. If you don't make it to the course, right? Like let's say you miss the class, there are recordings for it. And also we have the book already online. The book is free. And I'll just link that to you guys as well. So that's like all the topical materials. Rudy Shoes, I don't know what you're doing there. I don't even know what language that is. Is that like Python? I don't know if that's good syntax or not. I don't even know what language it's for. One of the guys might help you. One of the guys here probably knows that better than me. Okay, I think that we can call this good then. Oops. Save that. Get that out of the way. All right. I'd say the worksheet's good for today. Now I got to build the lab. So the lab will be install MariaDB, and that will be inside of MariaDB service configuration. Let's start here. All right, so you guys will know how to connect to a Hammer server. DNF install. Server. That seems like that's really far indented. Whatever. This is then the next part of it. All right, but I've got to get the lab ready so that the lab will work for what I want you guys to do, right? Hammer 2 should be up soon. And then what we'll end up doing is probably kicking over all of them, getting them all to a working state, and then we'll kind of go from there. Those incidents. Okay. All right. This lab will also require people to have the basic STIG Viewer. So I'm going to show how to download that in the course today. Where's the STIG Viewer at? and also the STIGs for. All right, there's our STIG viewer. I know it's very bright. There's no real, I mean, your options for dark mode on this are almost worse than just not taking. I mean, that looks like that's like the worst dark mode I've ever seen in my life. Those are your preferences. It doesn't help. Yeah, it's like this is like the worst thing I've ever seen. I'd literally rather look at it in light mode than that. It's so bad. But let's wait for this guy to come back up. I would have thought he'd typically it's about 180 seconds. Let's go look here. Where's Hammer at? He was Hammer 2. Ah, he's physically down. All right, well, that's not good. I said restart him. All right, we'll watch him boot at the console. If you guys have never seen this process when they boot, oops, you'll see him do his DHCP and he'll find himself, and then over here you'll see him. So here you're going to see him figure out who he is via DHCP, and then he's going to get an image, and you're going to see him pull the image over here on the left. I don't know why this is frozen. There's Rocky 2. He's trying to pull a runtime. What? Hammer 2 is busted. Alright, alright. We need to, what's going on with this guy? That's the right info. His network's not connecting. Oh, there he is. Now he's booting right over there now. That was weird. So now, see how he sees that he's Hammer 2 right here? And now over here, we'll see Hammer 2 pulling down his kernel and his runtime image. So, or his init RAM, that's not his runtime, but his init RAM FS. So once he gets those and he gets them downloaded, then he'll boot up properly. Joey Byte said, other than the Discord, are there any prereqs for today's sysapp? No. There's a book that we'll go over. The book's online, so that's all there, and the first week is done. There's some labs, and then there's a connection to our system. So you might want PuTTY or some kind of terminal emulator. You do not have to use my labs. You can do your own labs, but then there will be some configuration stuff there for you. And I don't think I have it open right now. Yeah, I don't have it open, but in the syllabus for that, there's like all the things you need. Actually, here, let me link the book real quick. Hold on, because we were just talking about this a second ago. This book right here, which again is free, just online. It shows down here the things that like are your options. You could use a Killer Coda machine for most of it. You could use a home lab box if you needed to for most of it. And then I have a Prolog lab that'll get you access to, we'll get you guys access to it. The Killer Coda machine, the only problem with this one is lab 3, where you're doing all the disks. You're not going to be able to do disks in there. I've asked them before, hey, can I just have a couple of small disks on like a platform that we could just use for showing people? And they're like, no, we don't have any plans for that. And I'm like, all right, Killer Coda is still a really awesome free site, but they just don't have an option for that. And I'm like, that's fine. That's fine. So you got to do it in a home lab for your extra disks, or use one of ours, because ours have all the disks up. All right, it's relabeling SC Linux, so that's coming up. I'm going to come back over here. My ping should almost be, that should almost come back up. As soon as this finishes, this will start pinging right here on the left. There's our ping. All right, give it a second. SSH in there, and now ID my SQL. Still doesn't have. Oh, there's that's guys, that's my fault. Let's do this. Let's just grab container real quick for this guy. So it's this one. So it's the Rocky Lab. And then the other ones, I think, all in the environment are this one. But really, this one is the only one that needs it. It's like sync user, yeah. There we go. And then I need that lab. So we're going to sync the Etsy Pass WD down in there. That was my bad. I need to run a write in there. So we got to rebuild that now that it's in there. And then yeah, actually, well, if you guys know, in our environment, if you do, when you're done with one of the servers, you can just reboot it. It'll kick you out of everything, and that server will come up clean again. You can actually kill everything in there. I'm actually fine. I mean, you guys, when you jump into our lab boxes, you have root, right? There's do whatever you want. But once you've killed a box and leave, that box resets. So I always ask you guys, in fact, I'm going to start putting it on all the labs, like reboot the box when you leave, right? Just reboot, let it kick you out, and the box will completely, whatever server you're on, he is designed to just come back up clean again. That's what Werewolf does. It's taking a long time to build it. Well, I don't have a lot of horsepower in these boxes, so that's probably why. That's what happens when I take, you know, our bigger systems and split them out into 44 lab boxes. We don't have nearly as much power per box or whatever. So, Night Strike said, "How are the level of the courses and how to join?" Yeah, all you got to do to join our course is get in our Discord. Discord is you can link it over on Twitch and on YouTube. It's just in the description here. Once you get in, you just go up here to the events. And there's the Linux sysadmin course, which 97 people say they're coming. That'll be down in this big conferences and guest speakers. If you ever sign up for something, like if you ever just click something to follow it in Discord, it'll always tell you when it's going to happen. Also, you can download, like I don't do this, but you could download it and put it into your calendar. So like you guys have these options for calendar. Make it a little calendar invite to remind you. I know we're all different weird time zones. Time that works for me is 3 p.m. today for me, so that's about 6 hours from now. And then the security one's about 8 hours from now, right? I'm still prepping for the security course right now as we go. Let me reboot that guy one more time. We'll just reboot him. We'll see him reboot on the right. And over here we can watch him pull his images and stuff. Oh no, Chris. Oh no. Coffee creamer, that's terrible. Guys, the wife is bringing home this you guys want to see what I'm having for breakfast? You're gonna be like, wait a minute, that's way too much food. I know. There's this place out here, Frederico's, Mexican food, and me and the wife, like, because I get this on the way home from, I go to jiu-jitsu at 5 a.m. most mornings, and I will get this like once a week for us. And it'll basically be coming back from doing our, you know, I'll come back from wrestling all the white belts and all that stuff. Hold on, let's see if they got the menu here. And they've got this really, really good, they got a breakfast plate, right? Where's this thing at? Hold on. Oh, this thing's ridiculous. We get the steak ranchero. You gonna show me a picture of it? I don't know, but anyways, it's really good food. They have like a whole bunch of rice and beans, and then like this kind of spicy steak, and then you get a flour tortilla with it, and I just turn it into little burritos because the tortilla is like bigger, you know, like bigger than this screen right here, and you just get all that kind of stuff. So, anyways, yeah, and there's also ham and cheese and all these other things. Man, they have a really good menu. But the thing is, me and the wife will get that. That is an $18 meal, and you say, God, the $18. Well, one, prices are going up. Two, me and the wife eat that, and then we still have enough for me to eat lunch later. So it's 3 meals out of it. So that's not too bad. Where are my teeth? I thought you had like a prime or something. Yeah. Well, no. Anyways, you got stuck on ads for a little bit. Those ranchero plates are good. All right, let's watch this box boot. He's almost up. He's actually gotten to his SE Linux labeling. So we'll come over here, and if we were to ping him, just to watch him ping for a second, he'll almost be up. But anyways, the wife went on a hike this morning with one of her friends. So I think her friend Donetta. And then she's going to grab that on the way home. So I'm going to have to stop here in a second. And I'll leave this running. I'll leave stream running. But I'll go down and eat a little bit, and then I'll come back up and hang out with you guys more. I'll just put on you guys can just watch everything run. While that's coming up, so we're going to install that. I'm making all this stuff background. So let's go. There's actually one of the things we sometimes do is this. Oops, nope, don't want that. Pre-lab. So pre-lab stuff is download. And this will be for whatever version of the OS you have. So DISA STIGs. Let's just go. Oh God, I fucking hate this when this thing pops up like this. And it's like, hey, let me help you by just showing you everything before. And it's like, no, I want to get in there and actually see the. Oh God, I didn't want that. This one, STIGs. And really, we want document library. Downloads, and then so here's the link. Oops. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you right here and say viewer, right? And then you'll see here for you guys. I'm going to make this a little bigger so I can grab it. Right here, there's the Linux version. There's the Win64. I thought they had one of these for Mac, but I do not see it for Mac. I don't know. One of my guys here works on this stuff a lot. I'm wondering if he's seen a Mac version of this. Oh, the STIGs are huge. Like, understanding, we're going to talk. So there's going to be two kind of components of the security engineering course. There's going to be the doing security stuff in Linux and actually securing them. And the other side of it is going to be interacting with the business, right? Like, because then we have to report this stuff up. So watch, I'm going to grab this here and new and grab this for now. And then, by the way, guys, when I release these labs like this, I will do them as PDFs. People asked last time, hey, can we do them as PDFs? And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. So just, this is just find your version of this. And then, I really would like it to fit on that same page if I can. So we either need the pre-lab to have a break before it. Can I insert? Hold on. Insert. Why am I forgetting how to do this, guys? Insert should be page break before, right? Shoot. I know how to do this. Oh, it's in paragraph. Line and page breaks. Page break before. Boom. Yeah, because I just want it to be on the same page with this. So that's good. All right, then here's our lab, the start of our lab. And I'll be showing how to get this stuff when we do the live lesson. That'll be part of it, was I'll be showing how to download this stuff. Because there's actually another component to this. You got to do that. And then, I shouldn't have closed that. You need to download the STIG for MariaDB. So there's a STIG for MariaDB that then you have to insert into that. If you're looking at my STIG Viewer here, this MariaDB 10 was downloaded separate, right? So it was a separate type of thing. And then there's there's 110 rules that we have to deal with or whatever. All right, guys, I think I hear the wife downstairs. So I'm gonna turn this on to loop, and I'll get rid of that. We don't need that right now. And then I'm going to put a little thing up that says hourglass, and turn off studio mode, turn off my camera for a second, and say quick break. Put 15 minutes on there because I don't know exactly how long this will take. But I'm going to go down and eat real quick. I'll be right back, guys. You guys, if people come in asking about the course, just point them to the Discord, please. Or tell them to hang out until I get back. I'll be back. How'd I do on time? Oh, not too bad. Let me post this on Discord real quick. On the food channel. I don't know why it's going to be upside down. But where's my Discord? Here we go. That's what I just had. Again, no idea why it's upside down. Put my hand in there so you guys could see how much food that was. It was a lot of food. Me and the wife just split it. She took some of it in this little container she had for her sister, because her sister wanted to try it. And we still have enough later for me to eat lunch. So, ridiculous amount of food. All right. Excuse me, now I'm burping. All right. Turn my camera back on. You guys got 4 more minutes of break. I'll give you guys a longer break today. People are joining. That's always good. Join the Discord. Get that out of the way. All right. So download the STIG Viewer. Download the STIG for MariaDB, which will be here. Let's go download that real quick. While we're waiting, we're still on break. Giving people a little bit of chance to have a break. We'll come down here. We'll say Maria, right? So boom. Here's that one. And I'll just grab this whole page so that they can see. Boom. Just a little bit of pre-work. Oh man, that's terrible. Smaller. Be smaller. All right. What time do labs start today? Oh, it'll be, so, excuse me. It'll be in my time. Any of you guys that go on Discord, it'll always show you events in your time. So my time, it'll be 3 p.m. I'm on Pacific time right now because Arizona, we don't change time zones with everybody else. So, so for us, that'll be 3 p.m. For East Coasters, that would be 6 p.m. For, yeah, I don't know all the other time zones. But I think I'm UTC -8 right now. I think that sounds right. 7 or 8. We were 7. I think we're 8 now. And then the Linux Security Engineering course will be at 5 p.m., which will be then 2 hours later. So basically, the sysadmin course, when we do it live, is about an hour long. I'll sit and I'll talk about all the stuff. Anybody that misses it, we've got it already recorded, so you can go back and watch it. But one of the nice things about live is we'll be sitting there, we'll be talking. You guys will have, if you've ever been in a Discord chat channel, you've also got the voice. You got the voice, but because once you get over, so you guys, if you don't know, the reason we had to switch it, we broke Discord a few times. If you ever have more than like 25 people in a channel, you can't do face anymore. And if you ever have more than 60 people in a channel, it just starts breaking. So then you have to go to like this conference one where only certain people can be speakers and they multicast out. Yeah, Discord has events. If you're in here, guys, it's on the top left. So if you're on like a system, it's on the top left. If you're on your phone, it's on the top right. So like when I'm on my phone, it's I can see the events in the top right. All right, so we got that one. You need to download that separate so that when you go into the STIG Viewer, you see the right. You guys want to see all of the STIG, so you would then be able to import. You actually have to import the STIG in, and then it'll be here, and then we can turn it into a checklist, and we can start doing our work. So I'll show that in the course, but I'll also put here download and then import it into your STIG Viewer. Okay. Then we got to get back to the lab. So the lab over here, box is back up. Oops, hammer 2. And in hammer 2, still not there. How? Oh, there's the end of our group. All right, so there's our MySQL user. He's definitely here. We definitely wrote... All right, hold on. Let's do this. Where'd all our crap go? Apparently we did it over here. Container exec. This guy, and we're going to go into him. It is there. What the heck? So if that's there and that lab was written, I mean, I guess we'll let him rebuild again. You see the user right here, and the box just booted off of that. So thank you, anonymous gifter, for gifting a 1 month tier 1 sub to Trump's Right Nut. That's funny. You don't need anything special to join the sysadmin course. All you gotta do is show up. The one thing I would tell you is have some type of terminal program to where you can test your access and get in on the lab stuff. But other than that, I mean, I guess you kind of need like a PDF. You don't even need a PDF viewer. You need like a web browser. But if you're watching this, you're already on a web browser, right? Because the book for the course, the guys streamlined this for me. And now, instead of me giving out everything for the base course, it's all right here in this book. So there's the book. You can start getting in there and looking at the stuff now. And there's the book over on the Twitch side too. But yeah, the goal of this is to you guys will find there's a lot of exposure that you're going to get to a lot of stuff. You can work as much or as little as you want on a lot of this stuff. I think you'll find that the more you challenge yourself, the more you'll pick up, and the more you work with other people, the more you'll kind of see how they think about the stuff. All right, so it rebuilt the container. We've done all that. We built the Rocky. We did the container build right there. So system. Let's do our overlay build. WCTL. Just rebuild the overlays for everything. It's very possible that I don't know exactly why that didn't work, but we're gonna get to the bottom of it, and then we're gonna kick all of the nodes over and get everything in like a clean state for today. Get everything working, ready. All right, Sandy on Twitch said, "Is the security course uploaded on YouTube? Having night shifts, cannot attend live." Sandy, if we do the course, the security course, if it gets uploaded to YouTube, will be, first off, it would be recorded tomorrow morning. We never record the course live. And you say, why wouldn't you record the course live? Because I don't want anybody to not be able to speak candidly. Sometimes people will not, respond or talk or whatever if they think they're being recorded. So I don't record the live lessons. The other thing that will determine whether I record those on Sundays is just how clean I can get it. I want to have something that's good and of value to make it kind of like long lasting on the internet webs, right? Like these live things like this isn't as important because nobody's ever going to go back and look through all these live ones. But those ones that I turn into like a playlist for the course, I want them to be good, right? I want them to kind of work. So to answer that question, I'm not 100% sure if we're going to record them or not yet, but we will do it again in the future. So the security course will be available in the future. Plus, we're making a book for the security course that looks a lot like this other one. So there will be a security version of this where you guys can just go in. I think it's PSC instead of LAC right here, but and then you'll have all the 10 weeks right here instead of the 16-week course. So But we'll work on that. I haven't decided yet, but if I do record it, it'll be tomorrow morning. Yeah, because I mean, it's a lot of stuff to wrangle down into only an hour, and I mean, I'm already like having to leave stuff out that I wanted to talk about originally. So, yeah. Let me change this around. This is bugging me that the ticker's in front of my camera. There we go. That's better. I didn't need that thing going in front of me. All right. This will probably come back right around 180. So we're watching, it's at 70 right now, ping. That's every second. It'll be coming back. So, all right. That'll work. Ensure that it is running. And that'll be system CTL status. I think we'd get away with a MariaDB. Wait for that to finish up here. All right. Other than that, anybody doing anything fun this weekend? It sounds like some people are coming for the courses. That's good. I'm a big fan. Like what happened last time with the course, and I'm just gonna tell you guys. What happened was people saw how much work it was, especially when they really started digging in, and they started making little study groups. So we have our little study group channels. You'll find people kind of just sitting down in here sometimes, hanging out in the study group channels. And you know, if you find anybody in any of these channels, you can always jump down in there and talk with them. But people will be down in the study groups, just working on stuff. A lot of times, what we'll do is after the conference, we'll jump up into like the Linux chat. And then people can sit and talk for people that have made it to the end of the class or whatever. So we'll kind of do that as well. So, okay. System's back up. Oh, that was up faster than I thought. There it is. Now we see the user. So now if we do a DNF install MariaDB-server, we're going to get this thing to we're gonna get it to work, guys. That's the goal, right? Get it to install. Get it to do the things that we kind of want it to do. This is the lab. Let me go look at the other one because I want to see what I did. Oh, this is the start of the final project. Now I've got other things to pull up now. Too much stuff, guys. Too much stuff going on. Unit 1. Worksheet. Let's go look at this. Okay. All right. Good. All right. I need another thing now that I have, which is here. We're going to close this one. We're actually just going to wipe canvas. Where's the... Oh, fuck it. It's fine. I need to find my... Why don't I see it? There should be a reset canvas. Oh, fuck it. We'll just open something else. Here we go. Here's our labs. This is the stuff for the lab. This out of the way. Alright, still installing. Bobby Tom doing some Net Plus, nice. Looking forward to the admin course, also good. Definitely, I'm hoping, definitely very valuable to people. It's the last one people really enjoyed. Enjoying it's less important than it working for you. All right. So we'll start the service. All right. So sure that is running. So we'll say start, and then MariaDB, and we're gonna do some other things. Right? So systemctl, or sorry, ss ntulp grep for 3306, and this would be a good thing to understand. Like, what's the default port for MariaDB? 3306. These are the things we need to know. And what we're gonna do then here, and this is where this is gonna get a little bit more not convoluted, but for the lab, we're now going to go look for MariaDB. I'm going to just create a checklist because that's how I like to do it. V253666. All right. So look at this, right? This is the check, right? And I'll do this for the first one, right? So we'll grab this. And for the first one, I'll show it, so I'll basically show it inside of the viewer, right? Okay. So check and remediate V-2536666 STIG. So here, right? Get this little guy in here. And first things we'll do are here. And we'll say, what is the problem that is being... What is the problem? What is the fix? What type control is being implemented, right? And then is it set properly on your system? And now we got to go view that, right? So I'm building the lab, guys, right? I'm building the lab that's going to walk people through this, but we have to be able to visualize it the first time. So that's the STIG. Database management includes the ability to control the number of users. So, E. Let's just go to E. And then I'm wondering if I can just can I just pull this up? Right. Oh, no, right there. Okay. What is the problem? What is the fix? What is the control type? Is it set properly on your system? And how do we check that, right? How do we check if it's set correctly? We know now what it is. So we'll just do MySQL to drop into MariaDB. So connect to MariaDB locally. And that's MySQL, right? MySQL. And then the command that it's asking us right here, which it gives us the command. This is one of the cool things about the STIG Viewer, is it gives you the command right here. Select max connections from my SQL user. So could we, right here. There we go. So, and then down here we read, if any users have more connections configured than documented, this is a finding. A value of 0 indicates unlimited and is a finding, right? So, right here, I'm gonna grab for only for this first one. Am I gonna walk people through this so much? Hold on. On all the other ones, you're gonna have to walk through it yourself, right? So, check text, fix text, right? So boom, grab this, copy. No, don't want to keep it. Right, connect to MariaDB locally. Make that a little smaller. And then for me, right, I did I did this actual command right here on the system, right? That was here. And then we saw this output of this, which was not good, right? This is not a good valid answer, I guess. Well, I wouldn't say valid answer. It's still oh shit. Where's my hold on? Gotta find my little snipping tool. It's still valid. It's what is the system set at? And here is our stuff. And then you have to evaluate, right, for the lab. If this was shit. I have to do it this way probably. Get smaller, you. Get smaller. There we go. Because you're already over too far to the side. All right. So, is it properly set on your system is the question. And then now you can go and look. And then they give you, this is the very last thing, is what if you had to fix it? So, how do you fix it? You could fix for each user, right? So right here, we would say, how do I fix it? And I would have to fix it for the right user. So grant usage, this, to username at host with max user connections. Max number of connections might be 1. So this is actually a variable. Right? And then username host. I don't think we have to change this one because it's granting it to everybody. Hold on. And this would be user grant usage to everybody on everything to. All right, we might have to put the user. So we might have to do on this one like root at localhost typically. Right. And then now it would be there, and then we would do the query again, and we would see that he's set at 1, right? So if the question was, could you remediate this, right? So I'm going to grab this real quick. All right, so boom. Where's this at? And then if I were to say, you know, no, damn it. Oh no, that's not great. Resume numbering. I just insert more numbers. Damn it. All right, we'll do it this way. We'll do it this way. All right. So we'll grab that, and then we'll move that down. Whoops. We'll say. There we go. All right, let me go grab this guy. Put him up here. There we go. All right, and then the question is, can you remediate? Can you remediate this? Boom. That's the only hand holding I'm doing in this one. And you say, what do you mean by that? Well, that's every other one is going to be, you got to figure it out, right? So that's check and remediate this one. And then I'm going to come down here and go all the way out and say 5. Damn it. Let me home. Resume numbering. Set numbering value back to 5. Boom. Good enough. Good enough for government work, right? So now we're going to check and remediate the next STIG. So there's all these STIGs that I had found that I thought were good. So the next one is 667. The next one was 678. Oh, that one's 677. 678. And then 734. All right. And then the same questions are going to apply to each one of these, which is what is the problem? What is the fix? And then people will have to do those ones themselves. Boom. Absolutely atrocious. I hate how, oops, I hate how far that's indenting, but whatever. All right. And then that's basically our lab right there. That's going to be a good amount of work. Stig MariaDB as far as you can. Okay. We won't worry about stigging it as far as you can, but that's our lab right there. That's going to be a good amount of work for most people, I think. Change the merge. Oh yeah. I could look, guys. I could make this all better. What's bugging me is the indenting of, like, how far this indented. That's what's bugging me right there. But all right, I think that's a fine start. That'll get people going for that lab. I got that part done. I wasn't worried, but that was the thing I had to do the most next. I need to start working on the next one for securing the network connection, which is hell's even go. I can't even, guys. I can't even. All right. Can't even do it. All right. Anyway, so MariaDB, there we go. There's no timeout on that either, which is already a STIG finding. But that's a good start, I think. That'll show people I can show that, and I can have people do that. And we can look at some of the things about stigging a box. What base image is that? It's just a base Rocky 9.4. I have it up at 9.4 right now. So it's just a base Rocky 9.4. You could, by the way, I am going to point out, you can do this lab in the, you would have the capability of doing this lab in the Killer Coda. So I'll show that too when we're going. So let me post this here. This is actually my talk for today. And then reviewing. So downloading, we're going to do the reviewing. Mediating report. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, we should be good. That'll be good. Okay. Put this back in the background, so that's our that's our voice right there. That's text to speech, whatever you want. Speech to text, poly, whatever kind of bullshit. All right. What else do I have? Hold on. This is the security engineering for Linux. So okay. So this one I finished today by getting the digging deeper in. Good. The part that is not done yet, and this is always, this will be fine, but it's what is the final project? And the final project is going to be, for this course, is going to be around this right here. So, topics research, nope. Is this, well, I need to make sure I have the right file. Security project, cancel. Yeah, this is the right one. Okay, so we are tasked, or let's say we have picked up a new client. They are requesting we help them adhere to the HIPAA compliance standard. Review the standard here. All right, or review an explanation of the standard. All right. So we don't need topics for this one. We know what the topic is. Right, so there's no options of other topics. And then for our plan the project, it will be, we're not gonna, so it's a little bit different. Review and. Oh yeah. I was testing you guys, and you passed. Very good. Actually, that's a funny thing. If you guys have ever worked with engineers from like a training side of things, I used to run. So when I was at Lockheed Martin, I was an engineer for a good amount of time, but I also spent a year in corporate training. I went and I gave training to the customer on this tool that we had. And one of the things that that I would do when I was trying to get answers out of an engineer is if an engineer is hard to deal with or hard to get information from, just take their information, make it intentionally wrong, and send it to them and say, hey, does this look right? And just have it like very intentionally wrong. Like they're talking about how to like do imagery, you know, some kind of imagery review of like a satellite image coming in, and you just go and say that they're talking about like underwater stuff or something, and they will immediately correct you. And if you, so that's a good way to get like a dialogue started, but it's also a good way to get, just leave stuff intentionally wrong. Because if people think that their name's going to be on it and there's intentionally wrong information, engineers love correcting people. That's one of their favorite things. So that's actually a trick to get engineers to respond. Because some of you guys know, like engineers are super busy. I mean, when I engineer, I try to get back to people, but I'm busy with stuff. So, but if I see something that's wrong, I will always stop and correct it. And that's how engineers work. Yeah, IO fault. I do this sport called Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I joke around often about just if you've got a throw or something, just put it up on the internet and let the judo guys will come out of the fucking woodwork to correct you on the names of shit. So just put the wrong name and let the judo guys come complain. That's actually a true thing. It's also the idea, like if you're ever lost in the woods, start building shelter because then they'll come to tax you. Right, like that kind of idea. If you guys have ever heard that, that's a very libertarian joke there. But like, yeah, or start talking politics and somebody will show up to argue with you, like that kind of same idea. All right, we're gonna leave this. We'll leave this open because this I don't have to have this done for today. Yeah. We'll finish this up right now before we go. So this is all going to be like a documentation thing. Excuse me, for the project. Look at all these references here. They have so many references. Let's say instructions. You have picked up a new client. Okay. Really, it's going to be, we're not really building, we're documenting our planning here. Build the documentation for HIPAA compliance. So, what you're really going to do in this, for this portion of the course, the project part, will be applying all the things that we're doing into this doc. Like, okay, a company needs to have, there's these organizational requirements at the end. They need to have policies and procedures around how they're going to comply with a security rule. Okay, well, do you have any policies and procedures written? Do you know how to go get policies and procedures, right? Do they understand how they're keeping their documentation? They got to keep it for at least 6 years. It has to be available, right? And then it also has to be updated every 6 months. So you have to have a, like, when are we updating this? All the, like, when are we reviewing things? There's all kinds of things. Plus, there's also the administrative, the physical, and the technical safeguards, right? So these are things we're going to learn about today in the course, by the way, for people that come. But build the HIPAA compliance. From here, the major ones would be how are we implementing risk analysis and management, right? So there's going to be a lot here. What are our safeguards? That's administrative, physical, and technical. Right? How do we form business? So there is a rule for business associate agreements. And once you have those, you can start to transfer PHI data between two HIPAA entities, right? And so how do we form a business associate agreement? Again, a lot of this stuff is going to be kind of to the side of like the general Linux stuff, but I think it's still good to know. And then what are our documentation standards? What are our documentation practices? And it's policies, procedures, and then update, cadence, update review. Like, how often do we review docs? I like to review docs every 6 months. I think that that's a good... Yeah, and also, I mean, when you're done with this, you would be able to show somebody, not only do you understand HIPAA compliant, because HIPAA pops up in a lot of stuff, but even if it didn't, I mean, even if we were using GDPR or something, I don't know GDPR very well, but I just really like this outline. I think they have a good outline of, this is directly from like all the rules that you have to protect of the data, right? Electronic protected health stuff. So I'll be updating this kind of as we go, but this is what this final security engineering project will look like. And a lot of this in here with our technical controls will be our STIG standards that we're adhering to. So, yeah. IO fault, I didn't know that that was Cunningham's law. I know a lot of laws of the internet, but that's a pretty good one. I'm going to have to start using that one. Some of you guys will find out over time, if you hang out with me long enough, that I have all kinds of random stuff that relates to different stuff, and that's because I've been a college professor for a long time. So you'll be like, oh man, is this guy mentioning that fucking cat again? Right? The Cheshire cat or something like that. I'll be like, yeah, if you don't know where you want to go, any road will take you there. That was Lewis Carroll as the Cheshire cat, right? And people will be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Yeah, I know I'm crazy, but that's good for that then. And we'll leave this out of the way. And then this is our worksheet. I think our worksheet looks good for all the things I want to touch today. Let's go check on this. Then hold on, shit, where'd it go? This. How is this guy doing? All right, so we've got that. He's up. He's running. When we reboot him, he'll come up clean, right? There will be no MariaDB or anything. It'll be ready for the next guy to go. So, yeah, Tommy, everybody thinks they want me as a professor. Then they find out that I'm cold and unyielding. No, I'm just kidding. But I do have standards for engineers. Like, we have to be technically correct, right? We have to adhere to those 4 C's of technical writing, which are correctness. Correctness is huge. Concise, coherent, and whatever the other one is. No, I'm just kidding. And it's correct, concise, coherent, and clear. Yeah, I think those are the 4 C's. I might be making up that clear one. Correct, concise, coherent. I think it's clear. Anyways, go look that up if you guys want. But yeah, technical writing is very important, because that's how we present our ideas. I mean, we could either sit here and have meetings all day, which most of us engineers hate, or we can present our ideas correctly, right? And those are our options. So, where's our thing at, by the way? Oh, back over here. Atticus, I would be okay with you doing GDPR instead. Yeah, you know what? Hold on. That is probably one of the most fair things I've ever been asked. That's a good. Yeah, let's go back to the security project real quick. Hold on. Let's because the people in other countries, GDPR is huge. Not as big in the U.S. In fact, most people don't know we don't even have a reciprocal agreement in the U.S. to adhere to GDPR. What does that mean? That means if you tell me, hey, Scott, lose all my data, I could be like, nope. That's not the case in anywhere in Europe, guys. GDPR gives you the right to be forgotten, and it gives you the right to correct data too. Like if I have bad data on you, and you're like, hey, I want to update my address, and I'm like, In the U.S., we technically don't have to. There's probably still some legal stuff involved there, if we're being honest. But I'm just going to tell you, I know for sure we do not have a reciprocal agreement with Europe right now in America. There's also a Brazilian standard that's pretty good, pretty big. But let's go look up at GDPR. Let's just go to GDPR and see if we can get. I'm going right to the source, right? So this is gdpr-info.eu. And let's go see if they've got a good summary. So here's the chapters, right? That's probably like very legalese, right? Subject matter and objectives, like what are we dealing with? Let's see if they have like a summary. So yeah, right. And like there's all kinds of things GDPR gives that are actually kind of cool. Like if you ask me to consent to you tracking me on a website and I say no, you can't limit the functionality of that website to where I can't use it. That's against the law in Europe. I think that's pretty cool because it's like otherwise people would just if they could, they would just be like, if you don't consent, you can't use my website. But you're not allowed to do that over there. All right, I just want to see if they have a summary because yeah, you could definitely. I don't want to use Wikipedia as the. Let's see if anybody else has a good one. Credit One Bank. Who the hell is that? Why are people calling me? I want to see if GDPR summary. Let's see if there's a good still within the government though. Data protection principles, accountability, security. This might be a really good. I want it to be a government site. I don't just want it to be some third-party site. They talk about consent, data protection, people's right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. We have picked up a new client. They're requesting. I'm gonna put this. This is the first time I've ever done something like this, where I'm gonna say, if you are in the EU and want to substitute GDPR, you may do so. And then we'll just say, oops. Let's see if we can just back that right there. Okay. Is that fair? Does that look good? Yeah, because I think some of you guys, you'll get a lot more mileage out of like a GDPR. Because we'd still have to. A lot of the standards are still the same. Like, I mean, I guess if you wanted to use CIS benchmarks instead of the other ones, but I mean, the point is, you could get a lot of this stuff out of here. So, anyways, yeah, there you go, boom. Yeah, so Chris, there's been pushes for stuff like that. U.S. we have different things that are similar. And then Brazil has their own law too. I forget the name of Brazil's law, but they have a pretty good data. The one for the U.S. that's kind of good, that I think is kind of good, is like the one that keeps like if you're under 13, you can't be tracked on the internet. That's one of the reasons why you can't sign up for like Google or services like that until you're at least 13. Because until you're 13, you can't be tracked. They can't be just tracking kids. All right. All right, we got our user. We're there. That's done. Okay, so now we need to go to here and say systemctl. No, sorry. History, Ansible. Let's go find our. Just go steal one. Right here. Let's go check all the uptime of all servers. And we might end up, let's see if anybody's on Rocky, and then we'll just reboot them all. So. Yeah. I definitely have robotic tendencies. But not the fact that I don't make mistakes. I make all kinds of mistakes. By the way, you guys may hear the servers behind me spin up here in a second, because I'm rebooting I'm rebooting 44 virtual machines right now. Let's go here to uptime, and we'll say sleep We'll give them 5. We'll give them 10 minutes to come up. Let's see if all the nodes come up in 10 minutes. They'll probably be up in 5. But all right, so there's our final project, at least the start of it, and we'll keep. Yeah, I can hear them spinning up back there, those servers. All right. So let's think through what I have for today then. For the Prolog security group, we've got the security engineering course doc for today. What do I call it that? That should be syllabus. Okay. So here will be our syllabus for today when we get in there. Yep, and that's updated. That's updated. So these are the things we're learning this time. Build standards and compliance, network and securing network connection, user access and system integration. Access doesn't need to be capitalized. Bash and host and air gaps, updating system and patch cycles, monitoring, parsing. All that other stuff I was showing is going to be to the side. It's going to be like almost self-study, if you will. But we're going to be digging in on doing the actual Linux work in the course, right? Here's the course objectives. These are the things you're going to be able to say that you're done. Build and configure a Linux system to adhere to compliance frameworks. We're going to be using HIPAA, GDPR, if for people that want to do that. But the point is you're going to understand how to work within that framework. What are the requirements, right? We're going to do some requirements reading. Actually, the first week we're going to do some requirements reading when we get all together. And then I actually joke around about that here. Reading requirements docs, right? This is actually a joke. This comes from one of the guys that posted the speed of UDP over Pigeon Carrier, and this was really funny right here. So I grabbed all these specifications of requirements. The wording of a requirement greatly affects what you do with it. If it says you must do it. If it says required shall, you have to do those things. Must. This was like a joke. Should only when marketing insists. May only if it doesn't cost extra. That's funny, but that's also true, right? That's also a way to think of this as a joke. All right. Anyways, course, still the course stuff. Don't have the extra stuff. MC Hammer. That's our connection, our user, and then all of our stuff here and our correct dates starting today on build standards and compliance. Again, this is going to kind of just be important throughout the whole course. Right, even as we're doing these different technical things. All right. So it's it's shaping up better than I thought this course was going to be. Oh man, I was worried about this thing. Security project. This is what we were just looking at. HIPAA, all that kind of stuff. We'll update that before we publish that. We've got the worksheet. I think the worksheet looks good. Says what we're doing. I'm going to put these discussion questions in the Discord probably right now. In fact, I have the other discussion questions I also need to pull up. And then also the lab. So we'll review the lab here. Let me go find, hold on, let me go up one here. Let me go find this unit 1, his worksheet. Because here's the original discussion questions from this one as well. All right, so let's get that out of the way. Let's go look at this. Here's the lab. You got to do some stuff. You got to actually touch some stuff on the servers. Let's go make sure that that's good. It should be good. I mean, I wrote it, but that doesn't say much. Mount, grep-i, no exec. Do any things have no exec? Do any things have no dev? Do any things have no suid? And then what's the implication of that, right? You could also count them right there, about 21. sysctl-a grep-i for IPv4. How many, IPv4, how much can we tune the IPv4 configurations within our system? There's a lot. You can configure them per interface or you can configure them generally, right? You can also configure different TCP settings. Can you guys hear that? That thing is really spinning up behind me. My poor little servers, man. Hopefully they don't break. All right, IPv4, IPv6, right? look at all the IPv6 stuff, and then lsmod grep-i for tables to see, are we using NF tables, which are the newer ones, or the older IP tables. I hope you guys can hear that. That sounds like a leaf blower behind me, but I'm making sure my server fans still work. All right. So then compliance, and then we do the pre-lab stuff for the STIGs, and then we start stigging the boxes, and then we do these STIG. Okay, good. So I'll have plenty of material for today, in the 1 hour security course. We'll save this. Boom. We've got the worksheet here. Did I close the other worksheet down like a dummy? Yeah, I do that sometimes. All right. So here's my 2 worksheets. This is the security one, and this is the Linux sysadmin one. So if you guys have never seen this actually, I don't think anybody's ever seen this process before. I'm about to show you guys the way that I take these and turn them into discussions. So our discussions for the course are in Prolog projects. That's where our discussions happen, right? And all you do in here is respond, right? So like this was week 15 of last time, you know, like all the way to the end, you're answering questions. But I'm going to come in here and I'm going to make the 4 ones for this week. There'll be 2 for Linux Systems Administration and 2 for the security course, right? So I'm going to do those right now. Yeah, I don't know, Chris, could you guys hear that? It was getting loud behind me. It's done now. It's done. We gotta monitor this. Hold on. Let's keep an eye on this. We'll see if I think it's probably only about halfway there, but I think most of those are probably back up. Let's watch this real quick. I'm curious to see if they're all up in 10 minutes. Also, I have one other thing to do for the start today. I need to make the 2 passwords. So there's going to be a password for the Streamer 1 user, which is the way that you get into the one account, or the one set of servers, and then there's the MC Hammer, and that'll be the other way. I'm going to put those in, those are going to be shown during the course. We're not going to keep those passwords in the Discord, right? We don't want anybody scanning them. What happened last time was we had a webhook, and the webhook was anybody could write in. I want to say it's for like the Ansible part where you could write stuff and post it down into the Discord. And somebody got a hold of it and started just posting all kinds of weird porn stuff. And I was telling you guys, after about an hour, I had enough, and I'm just kidding. We deleted it all as soon as we found it. In fact, I was on it right about the time like 2 of my mods found it too, and they were getting ready to start just wiping everything. So, yeah. All right. Yeah, somebody got a hold of it though, and they started posting weird stuff. So we want to make the Discord. You know, I tell you guys, you can do pretty much whatever you want in the Discord as long as it's not illegal. This stuff was probably bordering outline illegal, and also like we want to make it like friendly for people. You know, we don't want to offend people's sensibilities for no reason. We need to have a reason to offend your sensibilities, right? Chris, because it was published in the server and they probably just scraped the server. People scrape all kinds of shit out of servers. That's why we don't post like our direct emails typically and that kind of stuff. Yeah. They got a hold of it, just probably scanning. And it could have been more manual than that too. It could have been malicious. I mean, that's one of the bad things about webhooks is they're really poor security, because anybody that has the webhook can write in. It's actually one of the worst forms of security. But for the purpose of doing the automation stuff, I want people to be able to write stuff and have fun and see the fruits of their, you know, we talk about it with the guys from last time that we did the course. Like, you can go up here, Sandbox doesn't have very much stuff written into it. Sandbox, you can see the guys writing in here from the last course. And you can go, oh wow, that's really what they were publishing, and that's like the reporting on their environments. Yeah. And some of it like had too much info at the beginning, so then they parsed it down to be a little more clean. Yeah, different guys were writing. So this was Kenny Died, wrote a bunch of stuff out to the system, and then he cleared it up. This is one of my old webhooks that just wrote and lets you guys know how the servers were doing. Now I have it tuned down like this now. So if you guys come in, I'll know if people are logging into the servers or not. So as long as you guys are logging in and I can check them, we'll see if people have logged into the servers. I do need to fix this, though. My logic here is bad. So I'm going to need to change this, because if you've rebooted the server, it's not going to catch the old logins anymore. So we have, but hold on. But we have a tool. We have in our environment everything going. Every login goes to every login ever goes to our logs, so I can see people logging in. But also on like just the Hammer servers, I'll see users log in. So I might have to tune that Ansible to go grab information out of Loki, which I've never done before. So that'll be kind of fun. I'll be able to do a Loki query and get the information I need for just the servers. So that'll be a project coming up probably as well, because I do want this to be as accurate possible so we can see people logging into stuff, right? Yeah, so anyways, so that's that. Also, I think I missed Hack the Planet. Thanks for the resubscription with your Prime. I think I missed that 38 minutes ago because I was talking a whole bunch or something. The database backing these is actually Loki. Loki runs... Actually, I don't know what Loki runs under the hood. We can go look. Oh, by the way, here's all my servers back up. Let's see if there's any that weren't up in... So, the longest anyone took... So we waited 10 minutes, and then we got responses of some were up 5 minutes, 4 minutes... So the longest it took was about 6 minutes for one of them to come up. But some of these, like the Hammer ones, they had been up for 8 minutes already. Meaning it only took them about 2 minutes to come back up. You guys see that? Because if it was 10 minutes as our aggregate. Alright, let's go check. I don't know what Loki uses. Come on, get out of here. Cat, Etsy, hosts. Where I don't know exactly where I keep Loki, because I haven't looked at it in a while. Loki exists on this server. Well, we could just call him Loki, right? So we're going to jump over to that box. Loki should be running, yes. So here's his PID, right? Here's his main PID. And what's he doing? He's writing out to temp Loki. Oh, so he's keeping his own. Let's go CD. Yeah, he's just keeping it here. He's got some kind of trash compactor. He's got some kind of his own time series database going on inside of temp. I probably should change that somewhere more permanent. But yeah, here's all my Loki connections. Here's all the things that Loki is doing right here. And mostly he's writing out to, he's got like a cache, and then it looks like he's compacting stuff and then probably saving it down to here. Right? That's what he's doing. I just used LSOF to figure out what the PID was touching. Oh, Loki is pretty good. Yeah, Loki runs, the way I run Loki in the home lab is like this for people. Hold on. If you guys haven't seen this before, I'll show you. This is how we run Loki around here. File, open. We're looking for monitoring. Yeah, right here. This is how we run Loki in the home lab here. He's right in the middle here. And he's his own little time series database. Promtail agent pushes logs into there. So the way Promtail agent is set up, so Loki just sits there as an open API. You can use certificates to secure them. It's pretty easy to do that. I probably need to make a lab on that. But Loki, you can have certificates. So basically, he'll only respond to things that have a certificate, and he'll only allow queries from logql. So the logql is a very standard logging query language format. Grafana uses it and connects over. Promtail agent pushes stuff to him, and it looks like this. It's super easy. Watch this. Let's go back to any one of our boxes over here. Whoops. SSH to like Hammer 2. And we see the opt. And then I have it as Promtail in here. Yeah. Whoops. And then local. God damn it. There we go. And here's his two scrape configs. So Promtail is scraping locally against varlog messages and varlog secure, and he's pushing that. So Promptail is pushing that into that Loki open API, and that's defined right here. Here's where he's pushing. Promptail can push to other things, but he's designed to push to Loki, so this all works pretty well. If you're using Ubuntu, you just change this to syslog, and you just change secure to auth.log, right? You just change it over. So yeah, you could do clients with MTLS. Yeah, any kind of TLS certs. In fact, I have to write up our rsyslog. So the rsyslog lab that I have is based on UDP, and I actually have a government requirement to use TLS. So I'm going to have to do the TCP version of that, and then I'm going to write that into a lab for you guys as well. But once you do any certificate, once you create a key and then generate a cert from it, and then have that cert securely shared, always the public version of it, never the private one, right? Never give the private one to anybody. Then yeah, all the communication just opens up. So I'm going to do that with rsyslog, and I might as well do that with Loki as well. But in my lab, in my home lab, right, because I'm lazy, my stuff's all just open, right? But we are going to do, for people that don't know, in the security course, we are going to do securing stuff. I think week 9 is actually called Certificate Madness. We're just going to do all certificate stuff. We're probably going to generate certs out of Vault. I have a whole bunch of stuff that we need to do, but we'll get kind of that stuff. There are, Twisted Seed, there are a bunch of tools that'll do cert management for you. I think Vault is a good one. And then there's one that people like using for external stuff, but somebody would have to say it. I don't remember what the exact name is. Tommy said, what kind of servers do I have? Actually, it's funny you asked that. I put this presentation together a while back for the Linux group, and these are the servers that I have in my environment right here. These guys, they're a mix of like Dell 600 and 700, like I think they're 710, and then the 600 series, I'm not sure exactly what those are. I think I've been calling them like 630s, but I have 2 Dell 710s in the environment, and this is kind of what their general space is. They mostly just sit there chilling. Even with all my servers running on, I probably have right now in the home lab about 80 probably close to 80 servers running, and all of these servers are just chilling. When you guys get on and do labs and stuff, I'll see like a little bit of an uptick and a spike, and we keep track of that like around the environment here. But yeah, I just have old, like basically out of warranty Dell stuff that I've picked up over the years. Oh yeah, thanks for doxing me there, computer. Doesn't matter, I don't care. You guys know I work at DeVry, so I really don't care. But anyways, that's how that works right there. All right, we won't make any changes to that. All right, I think so I have the security stuff pretty good. I think the security course will run well. The sysadmin course I was already ready for, so it was probably already pretty good. So I don't know about SOPs. Let's Encrypt, I think, is one that people like. Yeah, DCI Banks said like Let's Encrypt. I think that's one that people use. So I haven't ever heard of SOPs, but that might be a good one too. Actually I'm gonna post these right now. Now that we got this other stuff done, let's pull these guys back up, and let's actually fill out. So this is how the course normally runs right here. Let's pull up our Discord, and down here in the Prologue projects, this will be posting the new discussions for the Linux sysadmin and security engineering course now, right? So I'm just going to post them in here, and what will happen is they'll become threads. But one of the cool things about it is if you don't participate in a thread, you don't see it. So like a lot of you guys, if you go to Discord right now, you won't see this QA right here. But if you go in and ask a question, or you go look at it, then it'll pop up for you for like, I think like 3 days. But then once you don't write in it or work in it for a while, it goes away. So I actually really like threads for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the older one first, which is this. So here's our discussion, right? And we're going to post this here, and then we're going to go and grab, hold on, let's grab that picture here. So here's the picture, and then Unit 1, Discussion 1 post using a 0 to 10 system. Rate yourself on how well you think you know each topic in the image. I said you do not have to post the rating if you don't want. Answer these questions here. What do you hope to learn in this course? What type of career path are you shooting for? So this was that's the first discussion. And then all you got to do to make it a discussion is you come over here and say create thread, and then you just say something like discuss. Boom. That'll be the first discussion right there. Now the second discussion will be right here. Sorry for yelling directly at you guys. Here's the second discussion. And this is something I like to do with my college students right here. I'm doing basically the same thing with you guys that I would do with them. And this is go find a job that's interesting to you, right? Find a job, discuss, and post a job that you're interested in from a local job website. You know, am I doing Cisco? Am I networking? Do I want to be a Linux sysadmin? Do I want to be on security? I don't care what that thing is that you want to be involved with. I just hit something on my face here. All right. What do you know how to do? What don't you know how to do? What are you going to do to close that gap? What can you do to remedy the difference? I want to be the best networking sysadmin guru that's ever lived. Well, are you going to prove that by, like how are you going to get there? Because you're probably not there yet. So how are you going to get there? Well, you're going to study. You're probably going to take some certs. You're probably going to go work on some stuff and maybe get into some conferences. Maybe you get to a speaking engagement at a conference, and eventually you do get, a little title put over your neck that says you're the greatest network security guy who's ever lived. Something like that, right? Yeah, yeah. DCI Banks, I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate any lurking. Anybody that pumps the numbers up is always valuable. All right, so there's our two. Those are discussions that people can participate in, and then if you're doing the course, the requirement is to do one discussion post per week, so answer the question, and then one response to somebody else. Those are your requirements if you're doing the course. If we get to the end of the course and you do everything else but you haven't done the discussions, that's not completing the course. Well, Tomio, I have four physical servers. Sorry if I wasn't clear on that. I have 4 physical servers and they're heavily virtualized. Sorry, I wasn't clear on that. It looks like this. Sorry if I wasn't there, or if I wasn't clear. Here's my 4 physical servers, and then they are greatly virtualized. Like there's a bunch of Hammer servers in here for security stuff. There's a bunch of the Rocky servers in here, and then there's just like my infrastructure nodes doing different infrastructure things here and here. Right? That's kind of that. How do you join the course? So all you got to do to join the course is get in our Discord. Discord is here, over on the Twitch side, and then here it is over on the YouTube side right there. Join the Discord, and then at the top left, if you're on a system, you'll see these events, and you just click right here that you're interested in the course. It's free. We don't charge you anything. We had a lot of positive feedback the last time we ran it. We had up to 208 people at one point in there. I think only about 8 or 9 finished it, but look, life gets in the way, whatever. But it's a challenging course. There's a lot of stuff in it. There's a book as well. The book is free. The book is right here. So for you guys that are like, well, what's the course about? Well, there's the book right there. And this book is, what happened was we have a bunch of professionals that are, or even amateurs that are working with us, and they went and they took all of my course stuff, all the work that we did, and they turned it into this book. So now when I do the Linux admin course this time, I'm not going to go put a bunch of stuff down there in the Prolog channels anymore. Now you're just going to have, here's all Unit 1. Here's what you're learning. Here's what you're doing. Here's key terms and definitions you need to know. And then there's the worksheet. The worksheet is those questions that you just saw me post, the discussion questions. And then the definitions, and then digging deeper. And then there's a lab. And here's the lab. You got to do the lab. Keep notes of it for yourself, and then you'll turn in everything at the end of the course. So here's all your labs. A lot, guys, they added a lot of stuff. Like, it's funny, the guys who are running this, and they're having a meeting here. So if you want to go sit in their meeting, it starts at 12, so it starts in 2 hours for me. This is a really good group. It shows you how to use GitHub. It shows you their process for building the books. But here's the thing. Those dudes are, I can tell by looking at this, they're adding to this. Like, there's a lot more in this lab than there was. And that's good, but it's also upping the amount of time you're going to have to spend to get right? But they show you all the things you need to know, and then when you come to the class and sit there and hang out with us, we talk about like I don't just make you do like stuff like this when we're sitting in the class in our 1 hour that we have together. I talk about how this applies to the company. In fact, I have a set of slides for this. So, for the first week it's pretty short. But we go through all this and we talk through it and we jump into servers and we touch the commands and we see it happen and then we kind of go. Yeah. Yeah, we're trying to keep additions to the minimum. Yeah, Chris, but here's the thing. It's good. I know a lot of times, I've told you guys this before, and this is my one Chad thing you'll hear me say for this hour. I am very good as an engineer at outlining things. That's a skill that I have. I can look at a start to finish of a bunch of stuff we have to do, and pretty quickly I can have an outline or a framework. So if people are good at filling stuff in later, that's fine. I will eventually fill stuff in on an outline, but I've always been very good at like saying, here's the 10 discrete steps or like milestones that we have for this work that we're doing tonight or whatever. That's always been something I've been good at. That being said, adding all this stuff to kind of, give it a little more structure. It's like it's just a little more meat on it. It's valuable, right? It's good because you guys will find that I jump around quickly between things. I'm kind of sporadic about stuff. So you guys that come in later and kind of like fill in some of those other things, that's a good service for everybody. But yeah, this book is free. I'm really glad. Like Treasure originally said, hey, why don't we just put it like this? Then you don't have to give everything out. And I was like, that's a really good idea. Make it so. So he's kind of running that because this is how I used to give stuff out. I would just give you like these PDFs here and you'd have to download them and go read them all. But now it's all just as a book. And it's a book you can contribute to. So if you want to get your name on there and just have one more thing to go put on a resume, that's the whole goal of this group, guys, is getting you doing this stuff professionally, right? So, again, we're starting today. We're going to do the Linux sysadmin course first. Then I'm going to sit around and hang out for an hour by myself and think. And then we're going to do the security version of the course. Unit 1 is verbatim. Well, I did put a lot of stuff in Unit 1, but some of that stuff comes from labs I've been doing with people for a long time. Yeah, guys, like, I don't know, I have different philosophies on teaching. I mean, I know that there's like Bloom's taxonomy and there's all these ways that we can order and that we can communicate and hammer things into people's head. But I'm a big fan of just like getting your hands on something and seeing the output. Like a lot of people, all right, there's different like kind of speed that people operate at. Some people, they see a command line and they type one or two things in and they go off for an hour and they don't even listen to me anymore. And actually, they probably learn more than I could teach them in that hour anyways, because they're off running around like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, I can read the man pages for that. Boom, boom. They never need me again. They just needed me to like light it, right? Then there's some people who like to chill and listen and stuff like that. And everybody's operating in all these different wavelengths. There's no like right or wrong with that. Some people like to spend time and internalize stuff later. They'll just listen to me and be like, man, I can't possibly like absorb one more thing that this guy's saying because he's kind of going so fast. But then when you're done, you sit down and it's like, me and the wife always joke around. Have you guys ever seen those cooking things? And it'll be like, let the potato, like they'll have those cooking, like all these steps to make a baked potato or something. But the last step is always let the potato rest. Me and the wife say that to each other all the time. We're like the wife will come around and be like, hey, will you come help me with this? And I'll be like, let the potato rest. I'm sitting on the couch. We're chilling. Yeah, Twisted Seed, we'll do an hour of the Linux admin course. I'll take an hour to just let the potato rest. And then an hour later, we'll start up on the other course. Yeah. If you guys need to find it in the Discord, you just go up on the top left and you'll see events. But if you're on your phone, it's on the top right. Well, at least I'm on an Android, so I don't know if it's different on Apple. But on like an Android phone, it's on the top right where your events are. It's a little calendar. It looks like this little calendar symbol, but it's on the top left on here. But yeah, the writer's room, this is an active group. These guys work through stuff, so you can go in there and hang out with them and watch the process that they're doing to put together the book. They're putting together the security course book as well as I get stuff done. Actually, I probably need to send stuff over for the stuff that's done now to Treasure, so I'll do that. So he'll have it. Linux admin course, look, we're up at 103. And then security course is at 76. So we'll try to do good stuff. Oh, all right. So I only got this one done. I didn't do the other one. So let's do the security stuff. So here's the security engineering stuff. And here's the discussion 1. And then let's go ahead and say security. Security unit 1. I probably should have called that other one admin. That's fine. Boom. We're going to turn this into a thread. Create a thread and say discuss. Right? And then we'll do the other one, which is here. And some of these will make more sense to do after you've, let's call this security. Some of these will make more sense to do after you've done the course, but if you know it or you want to study ahead. There we go. Boom. Discuss. There we go. I haven't found a better way to do that without putting them to discuss. So there we go. All right. What's our time at? Excuse me. I just hit 2 hours. Did I show you guys what the wife brought me home for breakfast earlier? I know it's upside down, but that's what she brought home. This is just like a steak ranchero. I swear they put like 6 eggs in that thing. There's so much food. I actually have more food, so I ate, my wife ate, and then she brought extra to her sister, and I still have enough to go eat for lunch here in a little bit if I wanted. And then I do need to, let's, nope, I don't want to forward. I want to rotate that. Can I rotate that? Let's see. All right, well, screw it. We're just going to leave it upside down. So Steven, that's an $18 breakfast, but I'm telling you, like, me and the wife ate it, and then her sister's gonna have some, and then I'll still have lunch. So it's actually per meal. It's actually a pretty fair amount of meal for what it is. All right, let's go to. I'm gonna throw up a little. Let me throw up my little hourglass. Take a break real quick. And we'll say that the break today will be, or we'll just do a quick break. Take a break. We'll only say, we'll do 10 minutes. Do a little 10-minute break. Stretch the legs. I'll turn this back on. You guys can keep an eye on Ranger Dog. How's Ranger doing? Look at him down there. Look at that Ranger Dog. All right. You guys keep track of him. I'll be back. You're buying the experience, not the food. They put so much food in there. I just can't even believe how much food they give you for that. I mean, it's $18 though, but it's good. Hold on, guys. I'm up and wandering around, but I missed one of my brother's chat messages. Where's he at? Where is he at? Somebody, what did he say? Hold on. Somebody go find me the chat from my brother. Oh, how many weeks does this go again? Recommend someone I want to do. Oh, so Baraga, real quick. 16 weeks for the Linux sysadmin course and 10 weeks for the security engineering course. If he's new, you probably want him to do the Linux sysadmin course. So, I was answering a question for one of my brothers that's on. So hopefully if he's still around. But I'm going to walk it off a little bit. I'm still walking around. I might go grab another drink. You guys can see Ranger down there, the little Ranger dog. And yeah, okay, good. He got it. Good. All right, I'm back. Well, you guys are still on break. Take your break. That break's as much for you guys as me. All right, I've been wandering around. Went and got another drink. Oh yeah, I probably should show that repo, shouldn't I? For guys that want to get involved with the Prolog group, here's the repo. And also, it's set up now. We set this up earlier today. Well, the other day. You can actually, well, you can get involved with it, you know, work with Treasure on stuff if you need. But we also have, I don't even know how to do it here. There's a thing somewhere in here where you can do some kind of sponsors or something. We set it up here. I set it up here and I set it up on my own. And then you guys, like, for people that want to do sponsor stuff, you guys can do that. So I have my own Het Tanis and then also on the Prolog group. But we set that up because sometimes people come in and, again, we don't ask for anything around here, but people will be like, hey, I want to, you know, whatever. I just like what you do. And you guys can sponsor if you want. But we don't ask for that kind of stuff, but you guys are welcome to do that kind of stuff if you want to. Most of you guys just generate, you know, you guys just give enough of your time helping out. Let me send, hold on, I got to send a couple of things over to Treasure real quick. So I need to send him the course stuff that I got done. So since this stuff's all done, Let me make sure that I have in the security. There's the syllabus and the project. Wait, we didn't finish the project all the way yet, did we? But we did say you could use GDPR if you wanted. So that's not quite done yet. But the syllabus is done. And the Unit 1 stuff is done for what we're doing. So yeah. And then I need to start working on the next week's stuff soon too. But all right, we're almost done with our break, guys. Remember, you can always just come up here. You don't look, guys. It doesn't cost anything. So even if you just say you're coming and don't come, it's not that big of a deal, right? It's just one more thing. We did find a bug last year when we were running it. I went out right around Halloween. Actually, I missed Halloween because I was in Hawaii for work, and we had 208 people, and it wiped it back to 0 for no reason. And if you guys have never moderated a Discord, you always have the ability to go in and see. In the Discord, you guys can always go see the logs. And what happened was there was no log of it getting wiped. It just happened. So like Discord busted on us. Bobby Tom asked, would I advise against doing both courses? There's no requirement that says that you couldn't do both courses. Like I'm not making you do the first one before you do the second one. I'm just going to give a tiny little bit of a caution. The second one is going to be much more complex than the first one. And also there's a significant amount of time involved. So where down here I have, you've got to answer these questions for the Linux sysadmin course, these top two. And then you have to do a whole bunch of labs and a bunch of other stuff. And if you don't get it all done, it wouldn't behoove you to also be working on this other one that's going to have a lot of stuff. So I would tell you guys to focus on which one you want to work on. If you have not done Linux Systems Administration course, I would advise doing this one first. That's just my advice. Could you do both? Absolutely. Especially if you're like out of work and looking for work and you're just like, hey, I need more stuff than... I would challenge anybody. Do you have more time than we have stuff for you to do? Because I don't think there's anybody out there that's got more time than we have stuff to do. We have stuff here. This right here is 500 hours worth of work right here. Just this stuff. Right? Like, go get all these certs. They're all free. They don't cost you nothing, just time. If you got more time than you have other stuff, do it, right? So anyway, I would highly recommend that, for somebody that's doing nothing and, like, trying to get into the industry and trying to work hard at it, focus on the Linux sysadmin course and get yourself into the industry. But if you have additional time, why not do security? It's just know that this course is probably going to be... This is going to be walking and running, not crawling. This course will start you out crawling. This course will start out what we might say easier, right? Although I don't want to say easy because it's all going to be thinking. A lot of thinking here, right? I had to put a lot of time into thinking to make it, right? So it's like, it's a lot of work. All right, did I close everyone? I closed every one of those down. That's funny. All right, I don't even know where we're at anymore. All right, I'm gonna drink some. Yeah, Bobby, I would tell you, if you only have so much time, right? Like if you're doing this on nights and weekends, you're working, you're going to the gym, you're doing all these other things, and you only got like 30 minutes a day, I would only focus on one of them. That would be me. And that could be maybe one of the deciding factors too, is like, if you're like, well, I can do both, but I'll do the Linux one during the week and I'll only do the security ones on weekends. I would tell you, anything that you want to learn, any discipline you want to get better at, you have to do daily. You can't just say, oh, well, I'll go to the gym 3 days of the week and I'll do my college stuff the other 3 days. You won't get anywhere in either. You got to spend, it's consistency, right? So, this is at least the second one today. Yeah, these are sugar-free. This is a blue one. Like, I hate grabbing where it's cold. So I always grab above. But yeah, this is my second one. I'm trying to keep it down at only about 3 a day though, so that's good. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Where are my teeth? Yeah, heart attacks don't kill champagnes. What kills us is like prostate stuff, I guess. At least that's like historically back through my family. That's what kills us. Our lungs and hearts, not that. But no, it's good looking out. I mean, I definitely feel it when I drink too many of these. But I'm trying to keep it down a little bit. Also, Faint Calf, when he's around, he always gives me a hard time about it. All right. So what are we doing? We're mostly talking about the security course and the Linux sysadmin course. These courses are there for you guys. They are like a distillation down of what you need to do to be in the industry. Most of us here are hobbyists and do this stuff for fun. But if we want to get better at doing it professionally, maybe we, work with other people that have done this stuff professionally before. And in my side of things, I've been, professional Linux sysadmin or engineer for the better part of the last 22 years or so. So I try to show you guys stuff that I've learned. We also have all these other people down in Discord that have done it and can show you things that are useful and that kind of stuff as well. So, all right. Well, I gotta check this message because I got a message from. Oh, that's Treasure. Okay. All right. Good. I saw that message and I thought it was Inspector for a second there. Treasure and Inspector have very similar symbols for their names apparently. If you guys don't know Inspector, he's just one of our Discord guys. He used to come in here a lot, but I don't see him on Twitch nearly as much. Another fun thing too. This is useful. If you guys have never been on Discord, sometimes you can just drop into a channel. You don't actually have to join the voice and listen to people, but you can go see what people have been talking about in the channel. So a lot of times there's good links and stuff in here when people are working on stuff, right? Whatever stuff people are doing or whatever the topics are. So you can find out. It's almost like you're doing a little bit of I wouldn't call it stalking, but just like hanging around and looking at. There's a lot of info in our Discord, right? A lot of people doing stuff. We typically have conferences in here if there's conferences coming up. What was the one that just passed? Yeah, the monster scale from ScyllaDB. And one of our guys wrote up. Yeah, Bobby went and did a little write-up on it. So if you guys want to write up on what they talked about and some of that stuff, he did a little write-up. Right, boom. You can go hang out and see what's going on there. And then I always have a bit of a bounty that if you go to any of these and then do a write-up for us, I'll buy you a Humble Bundle. Just find a Humble Bundle that's interesting to you and I'll send it over to you. So if you guys aren't sure what Humble Bundle is, that's a... right? Humble Bundle is just I don't want that. They got a bunch of good typically books and game software and stuff. But typically with books they'll have good stuff around. In this case, Python's out there. Do they have? Yeah, computer science is one. This is one that we did for somebody recently. So you get all 18 items, and there's a bunch of good stuff down here. Right? Because I think you should have a library. I'm a big fan of having a library. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys this. I might be speaking. I haven't decided if I'm going to do it or not yet, but I do have to decide by Monday. My college has another. They've got a symposium coming up, and I can go talk at it if I want. Well, any of the college professors can. You just have to put together a compelling little thing. And what I was going to do was update this one. So I was going to update this and then go give this talk. Some of you guys have been here for this talk before, but it's my excelling in the engineering field after college, but it's really excelling in the engineering field anywhere, right? After anywhere. Hold on. I'm moving it so that you guys can see my text-to-speech still too. But some of you guys have been around this one where it's excelling in the engineering field after college, but then I say, well, or for anybody. Maybe you didn't go to college and you just want to excel in the engineering field, and this is my way to get you thinking about how you get better as an engineer, right? So I might kind of clean this one up and use this. And because the symposium, the idea is empowering our students for the future, and I think I have decent insights about how to be a good engineer after, because I've been a decent engineer. Although I've never really left college, right? Because I've been teaching it. I was in college and then I was teaching college. So there's that. Yeah, this presentation, yeah, this one is this one's up on the Discord. All of the presentations that I have that I can share are down in presentations. So this one is, hold on. Yeah, this one was from 5/31/2024. Actually, I've had this one for years though. But I would update this one for this. We could talk about this now if we want to. I can go through some of this. But I brought it up because of like a book collection. I think you should have a book collection. Could you find most of those books online? Yeah, 100%. Most of those PDFs are out there. You can get a hold of them. But one of the nice things about Humble Bundle is you're donating to charity. You're getting them all without having to go spend a bunch of time finding them. And then you also own them, right? Like they're your books. You can do whatever you want with them. So, did I miss anything? Got an email. Go do it. Yeah. All right. We could do this talk. We could do this a little bit. I'd have to do it fast because I actually have to get off here at 11, so 30 minutes my time. I have to go sit with my college students. But I'll start this off real quick. What do people want engineers for? This is to get to the point of what engineers are. Like if you want to excel in the engineering field after college or any time, what do engineers do? Well, we deal in truth. That's what we deal. And people are like, I don't believe in truth, and I don't believe. Okay, well, that's all like over on the philosophical side of things. On the day-to-day, what we do as engineers, we look for ones and zeros. We look for true and false. We add value. Our utility, or what's called the value added to a company, is directly related to what we know and how quickly we get to the right answer. So we deal in truth. Like somebody says, hey, is this system up? Yes or no? Has that system changed in some amount of time? I can give a yes or no, right? I need to be able to distill down the truth of a thing, right? And this is then, so to that point, people ask us, like, what's the best technology to solve some random problem? So sometimes we got to build minimum viable products and proof of concept type things. So we have to understand basics of what we call, no, I can't even think about it. Not constraints, not deliverables, requirements. We need to know requirements, right? And then we have to be able to check off boxes as engineers for those requirements, right? So that's a technology thing. Sometimes we're called to fix a problem or troubleshoot why something is not working correctly. And typically it's because everything we work on cycles like an engine. And when it breaks somewhere along the cycle, we need to know how to fix it. That's why we're called engineers, is because everything we work on is a cycle. And I have a different talk that's actually recorded up on YouTube about, it's called Why Engineering, and why do we do engineering, and why do we, and the cycle of the engine that we work through, right? But anyways, in any case, our knowledge and finding the right solutions are what we bring to the table. So if we know that we deal in truth and what we know is our value, then to that point and understanding that's our value, how do we keep ourselves ready to do that? How do we keep ourselves relevant and knowing things? That's right. That's kind of like our goal here. This is we don't go into this in the sysadmin course, but this is a big part of like the base of what we do, right? So here's our overview. How do we do this? We need to have continuing education. We have to stay sharp in our field, and you should learn how you learn. You should pick up, if you've never like sat down and thought about like, do I learn best by reading, or do I learn like how do I retain things? I'm going to show you guys some ways that all humans learn. There are nuances to certain people, but all humans learn the way I'm going to show you here. Then like maybe you can go get a cert and you deal with the body of knowledge around a topic, right? Like I understand all the things. Having a cert doesn't mean you're brilliant. Having a cert doesn't mean you're the best one in your field. But having a cert means you've studied the body of knowledge enough to pass a test at whatever the standard is, right? It is another way to measure that somebody's ready to do work. It's not the only way. Maybe it's not even the best way, but it is a way, right? So I tell people, if you have a cert, then you're just one more positive differentiator off of other things that are out there. I talk about building a home lab and having professional and personal projects. Professional projects directly relate to the work you do. Personal projects are maybe like to the side, but they're related. Like when I do personal projects like running Discord, running our little professional Linux users group, that directly relates to what I do, but like I don't show you guys my exact work. Like I don't show you exactly what I'm doing at work. So it's more of like a personal project to me, right? It's more of like, but I'm still keeping myself sharp in Linux. I'm still doing Linux, and I'm building, you know, Grafana servers, and I'm doing all this stuff, and I'm working in my lab, whatever. I think you should have a book collection because of the correctness and conciseness of books as opposed to just stuff on the internet. And then this is maybe the most important one: getting involved with other people that are doing stuff. If you wanna talk like the gangsters, go hang out with the gangsters on your street. If you want to go talk like the guys that are building buildings, go hang out with the guys building buildings. If you want to be a systems engineer or a security engineer or Linux or cloud or whatever, find a group that does that stuff. If it's not us, somewhere else, right? Like anywhere, I don't care. But Slack or Discord are great for that. And then I always tell you guys, if you can't find anybody to mentor you in your organization, start mentoring the other people. If you're the expert at something and you stand at the top of the hill and you're like, I can't find my equal in this organization, start bringing the other people up. If for no other reason than the selfish reason where I want to take vacation time and I want to have my weekends off. Because if you don't train the others up to come behind you and be able to handle stuff on the weekends, then you're going to be the one that gets called out every weekend. And who wants that? That would be like the worst thing, is be so good that they're always calling you out. No. I'm going to be like Achilles and train all the other guys to be able to fight in my stead. Even if I don't show up, my guys still can do whatever, right? Like they don't need me to win. All right, anyways. So learning how you learn. Like there's this thing that people think. They're like, I learn different than anybody else on planet Earth. And I would argue that that's not true. You probably have some nuances to how you learn. And you probably even have some focus problems because you're probably like me and you have a phone and like it gives you focus problems, right? Because you're so, you know, you're always breaking focus and doing other stuff. But other than that, like most people actually learn pretty similar. This, when I show you guys the Bloom's taxonomy, you're going to go, yeah, that makes sense, right? So one of the things is figure out, like having a schedule is one of the most important things. Figure out what your schedule is going to be. Do you need a Pomodoro timer to keep you on task? So do you need to do like 15-10? Do you need to do like 45-15? Like what's a schedule that works for you to keep you on task? If that task is studying, if that task is work, this is something you need to learn. Like, how do I work good? Can you sit and watch videos for hours? Do you actually learn doing that, or do you just kind of space out? This is a big one. You do not find time, you make time. So if you told me you wanted to be a writer, I would ask you, how much have you written in the last week? And if you tell me nothing, I might tell you you don't want to be a writer, right? But if you say, I get up, you know, half an hour before I go to the gym and I do writing and I try to get 2,000 words down on a page before the end of the, I'd say, well, that's pretty good. That you at least want to do that. And then to that same point, a little daily is better than cramming once a week. If you just open up a little Killer Coda here, you just go here and you go to Killer Coda, and even for like 10 minutes a day, you just go and you pick one. You're like, oh, we'll go see what Powell is going to teach me today. And you're like, I don't know the content of a file. Let's see what's going on with a file. And you go in here and you at least spend a little time at the command line each day, because all the rest of your day you're going to be breaking rocks or doing construction or whatever. That would still be, you would still have that in your head, and you would still be able to be like, okay, ls-l test file. All right, ls-lh maybe test file, and see what's different there. And you go, okay, that's got some content to it. It's 43,000, right? It's 43 kilobytes, right? And that's a big file. What's going on with there, right? Chris said, I also find building project has the same effect as being in the Killer Code lab. Yeah. This is just an example. I'm not telling you guys you have to do one thing or another. But if you don't have anything else, at least doing this would get you that much further along. And then you'd be like, okay, I at least understand what LS is doing. And by the way, guys, much like a boxer never stops throwing a jab, I literally type the ls command 1,000 times a day. You say, no, not 1,000. Yeah, yeah. Guys, I spend about 12 to 18 hours a day in command line, like for work and stuff. So I'm literally typing. There's never a time when I get to just go to a thing and go, I don't need to type ls this time. I already know what's in there. That doesn't happen, right? I mean, if you maybe just in the directory, you don't have to type ls again. But you guys will find I forget stuff almost as fast as I say it. So ls-l is free. ls-l again. or it scrolls off, it scrolls off the top of the screen. You do it again. Who cares, right? But you need to know your tools, right? So anyways, that's my point, is getting in there just a little bit daily. And then this is a big part of like what those discussion ones that we're doing for the first week of Linux sysadmin. Find out what you're interested in, man. If you guys go into Linux like this, right? If you're like, oh man, I'm gonna stick with this stuff Scott's talking about, and fuck, I hate it, but I'm just gonna do it, and I'm eventually gonna learn this stuff. That's terrible, man. I wouldn't want you to do that for the next 30 or 35 years of your career. Oh, Smitty, I'm at a command line well over 12 hours a day. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, we have a joke. My boss will be like, "You work 12 hours today? That's a half day." Yeah. I'm an engineer full time on one project with multiple other projects, and then I also teach college. So yeah, I spend almost all my day in systems, right? That being said, I mean, like, I have my other stuff I enjoy. I go do my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at 5 a.m. every morning. Again, you got to make time for it. If you don't make time for it, you're not going to do it. But yeah, so, and then this is the take a self-assessment. That's what the first week of this is. Find stuff that's interesting to you, because like Linux may be real gritty to you. One of our guys, Fisherman, when he's around, he'll tell you he's passed a whole bunch of the AWS certs. He works for him, right? But he's passed a whole bunch of AWS certs. I think he's got like 8 or 9 of them now. But when he gets to the networking stuff, he hates it. He's like, I can't study this stuff. I fall asleep. That's how some people are. So, like, I didn't love networking either. I mean, I'm pretty okay at it, but I didn't love it, so I moved over to Linux. My point is, find things that are interesting to you. If base Linux and crawling around on Linux servers and building Linux servers is not important to you, maybe you're a data analytics guy. Maybe you want to go do data analytics, and you could still build Linux systems and use them for data analytics, but you don't have to do Linux all day, guys. Some of you guys that hang out are like DevOps guys and software engineers and site reliability engineers. And I'll tell you what, like I know this from being a systems engineer and a security guy for a long time. Everybody thinks my job is cool, but I think everybody else's job is cool. People come in all the time and they're like, oh man, Scott's doing security stuff. That's super cool. And I'm like, yeah, but security, like you guys a few weeks ago, some of you sat with me for like, I don't know, probably like 6 hours in Discord. We were all hanging out and talking, but I was doing the MariaDB STIGs. And it took me total about 12 hours to STIG that box all the way up. It was a nightmare. It was terrible. But that being said, we were hanging out down in Discord, so that made it a little more bearable. But people are always like, oh, that stuff's so cool. And it's like, it's still work, guys. It's all work, right? So just know, don't you dare put... Hey, I have brothers that do... One of my brothers does all Kubernetes. One of my brothers does all data analytics. My older brother still recruits people for the Army. He's a recruiter in the Army still, if that's not funny enough, right? More funny, curious than like funny, haha. But like, that's what he loves doing. He loves lying to people and put them in the military. No, I'm just kidding. He's like, hey, that's a whole bunch of pull-ups you can do. Why don't you come do the Army? They don't even do they do push-ups, right, for the Army. But anyways. Yeah, that's what my older brother Steve does. All right, find projects that allow you to do it. So this is what Chris was saying. Even if it's just, like building out our low ranger. Like, let's say we were just building out our low ranger check. Where's Ranger at? When I did this, I built this live on stream a few years back. But we just have like a little camera that just keeps an eye on Ranger Dog. The complexities of this were being able to pass an iframe through to Grafana. We had to lax their security model to allow us to do this because they didn't allow you to pass a web frame directly through with they call it like a dirty page. You couldn't just pass data directly through like this. So we had to lax the security and we had to go figure out how to do it, right? So anyway, so yeah, no, my brother definitely lies to people. But no, I mean, it's not too bad. Anyways, so learning how you learn is important. So let's talk about it a little bit. These are kind of a codified set of steps right here. This is called the Bloom's taxonomy. And we use this in college all the time. This is one of the things, like if you ever meet anybody in academia, and I've been in academia for 16 years, right, as a professor, you will hear people talk about this all the time. So the first two levels of this are what you do mostly in like a bachelor's degree. You go up a little bit maybe to level 3, but it's the same way with like when you're learning. If any of you have ever done like some basic cert or something, the very first thing they want you to do, the very first level of most certifications, if there's multiple levels, what we call foundational, is all this first two. It's remembering things. It's just basic facts. Like in AWS, do you know what an ELB, an ALB, and an NLB are? Those are different types of load balancers, right? Can you pull, if I were to ask you a question about which one of the types of load balancers that exist have the lowest latency, there's also a GLB, which gateway load, GWLB, gateway load balancer. So there's 4 types of load balancers. Which one has the lowest latency? And you would say from your memory, because you remember those 4 things, and you remember some basic ideas or concepts about those 4 things, you could tell me the lowest latency of the 4 types of load balancers, this is the network load balancer. The network load balancer is also useful for the termination of TLS, so if they had put that constraint on the question, you could have answered that. If they were to ask, what type of load balancer functions as a mirrored port inside the system and can allow you to send logs in real time or traffic analysis in real time to a third party? And I would say, oh, that's the gateway load balancer, right? So the remembering of facts, and basically, like, look at this real quick. Let me give an example of this. You go here, right? This is the CompTIA Security Plus right here. This is their standard for the Security Plus, right? And you go to the very bottom of it. Go all there. This is all their stuff. We come to the very bottom. When I say a glossary, this is what I mean. Acronym list. Could I just give you a bunch of these in a row, almost like flashcards? And could you say, if I said, what's a GDPR? And you said, that's General Data Protection Regulation. That would be like a level 1 of the Bloom's taxonomy. But then, if you could, look, then you go here. What's the next one? Understanding. Then you say, that is a standard that governs all of EU data privacy. So we know what GDPR is, but where does it apply? How is it used? Okay, it's part of all cybersecurity requirements for dealing with third parties inside of anywhere in the European Union or working with them when you're dealing with data for people in the European Union. Okay, good. Okay, I know that. Then you might say, well, how do you implement it? How do you implement GDPR? All right, well, I implement it by ensuring that I've adhered to these parts of the regulation. I ensure that people have the right to forget. So I have some kind of function. Maybe I even have a little, drawing of. I have a function if somebody requests to change information or forget information about them. I have an easily found way for them to do that. And this could, there could be a bunch of things. But the point is, as you look at each of these different things, you understand more and more about how they fit in. And then eventually you say, you know what? GDPR is good, but this is up at like the doctorate level, typically up here. I would like to propose a new model that takes all those other things and makes it just slightly better. That's your understanding of things from start to finish, right? That's Bloom's taxonomy. So if you say, well, Scott, I want to learn some new thing. I want to learn how to play soccer. I want to learn how to do Linux. One of the first things that we might tell you to do is, well, start hanging out with people that are doing Linux and start to listen to the terms. Start to listen to the kernel and the version, and this is bash, and this is a process ID, and this is a parent process ID. At first, you might only know that a process ID is the identifier for whatever process is running to the Linux kernel. But then over time, you might realize or find out that is treated like a flat file, and all the information that touches that is actually down in the proc process ID number folder. There's a folder that has all the information about all the memory it's touching, all the files it's opening, statistics about how long it's sitting on any one request or any library that it has open. Everything's in that file, right? And you start to learn more and more about all of these things, right? And then you move up further and further, and next thing you know, you're like, for my use case and for how I understand this, that concept of maybe a process ID no longer fits, and I need to make some new thing. Now I have to go fork the Linux kernel and make my own thing because my understanding is up here where I create a new thing that better fits with what I need. That's how all engineering works, guys. This is how all learning works right here, right? That's Bloom's taxonomy. We use it college level, we use it. But it all starts with remembering basic stuff. Like, it's like a kid playing with blocks, and then they figure out how the blocks work, and then they figure out from there the strongest structures, right? All this kind of stuff. Anyways, they keep going further and further up. Anybody remember that? Did anybody have that? I remember it was like 7th grade. We had a teacher, Mr. Black, for tech, and he made us build these bridges out of, it wasn't even cardboard paper. It was like a really thin construction paper. And then he had this, this is probably his highlight of his year. He had this 40-pound weight that he would put on your bridge, and it fucking smashed everybody's bridges. And there were like 2 people in the class that actually had bridges that held, and they were ones that used triangles, right? They used triangles because they either just guessed or they had heard somewhere, and this was in the 90s, so we can look everything up on the internet. What's the strongest structure for building? Because your bridge had to be like, I think, like a foot wide, and then it had to have at least 2 structures, and then it had to have a span of like a foot or something. And then he would put this big old weight on it and just crush the thing down to the floor on everybody. Anyways, but the ones that held, I think some cylinders held, but they eventually crushed, and then all the people that used triangles ended up like that was the strongest of the geometric shapes, right? For spans for sure, right? And if you say, well, Scott, how do you know that? Well, go look at any bridge, right? It's all triangles. Anyways, all right. This is another way that you learn. This is how you learn tasks, though. This is, I got to get off of here soon, guys. I got to go yell at my college students. But this is how you learn to do skills, tasks, and stuff, right? And most people start in general down here on the unconscious competence model. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you're handling. You don't know what you're walking into. You're like walking out onto like a baseball diamond for the first time, and you don't know what a bat is, and you don't know what a ball is, and you don't know anything. You're down here. You're unconsciously incompetent. Then maybe you watch a game, and you're like, all right, well, these guys are obviously out there trying to stop these guys from going around. You don't even know all the terminology yet, but you know what's going on, but you're still incompetent of things, right? You don't know what you don't know, but you want to learn it, right? Then you move over here and you start to develop a proficiency, and you're like, okay, I understand how to swing a bat, and I understand that like I turn my hips over before I swing my shoulders, and that gives me more power. Again, whatever this thing is. And I understand that guy that's up there pitching, he wants to swing, from 12 down with whatever maximum amount of force when he releases, whatever, right? You're consciously competent of a thing. You are good, but you have to apply things and still think through things. Maybe you're still referencing the manuals and that kind of stuff. And then you get down here where you're unconsciously competent. And this would be, you don't even have to think about it anymore. Most of you drive your car unconsciously competent. You see stuff going on. You could be like chewing bubble gum, and you could be like adjusting your headphones or turning your radio, and you're still fine because you know how to slow down and stop, and your legs are doing stuff without you even thinking, right? If any of you ever driven a stick, right, when we used to drive manual back in the day, you're just doing stuff, and you're not even thinking. You're literally not even thinking about it. You're just downshifting and doing whatever. If you engine brake or whatever, especially if you live where there's hills or whatever, that stuff's happening unconsciously. But I would tell you that like as engineers, you want to stay up here. Because it's easy to slide down into, hey, these are the tasks I do every day. This is the repetitive things. I'm unconsciously competent. But engineers that sit here, when technology changes, like when it stops being C underneath everything and it's all like Rust, but you didn't bother learning any Rust because you were just unconsciously doing whatever you're doing. I tell engineers to stay up here. Keep track of what's going on. Think about better ways to do things that are already happening. Like don't be Scott the unconscious. Don't be down here. This is a bad place to live. Like I hear about this. I hear about this all the time in engineering, where somebody will have forgotten even the basics because they've just done it all and automated it all, and they don't think about this anymore. And then years later, something changes and they don't know how to fix anything, and they don't whatever. So stay up here. But most people start over here. They don't even know what they don't know, and then you move around this model. This is a great model. I learned this when I was in college. We had a substitute teacher one day, and he came in and he goes, "I don't know any of this stuff that you guys are doing in here. I just have to be here as a sub. So this is what we're going to talk about." And he showed us this model. It was a little bit different version, but it looked like this. And there's an axis of conscious and incompetence. Conscious competence, and then incompetence competence. So conscious, unconscious, and incompetence competence. Yeah. All right. Anyways, I don't have time to go through it all, but get some certs, work on stuff. That's all down in the Discord. Build yourself a home lab. Maybe the most important thing is go find people that are talking about stuff. If it's not me, somebody else. I don't care. It doesn't have to be me, guys. You go find anybody else that's doing this stuff. But find something that's good. I tell people to avoid infotainment. There's a lot of people out there that are much more entertaining than me, and they're doing all this cool stuff and whatever, but they're not really showing you anything or teaching you anything. They're just talking. That's fine. I mean, so if you want to be entertained, but if you're trying to like make a change and get into something, go find a Slack or a Discord or a Usenet group that's doing stuff that's interesting to you. I always show you guys Measure Slack. Measure Slack, my buddy Jared has been involved in that, and he's an architect of data analytics stuff. He does like Google data analytics for a pretty good sized web company that do $1 billion a year in sales, and that's what he got into, was Measure Slack. Can you imagine if you're in the medical field, learn stuff and then go find some sick people? That's how people used to do medicine, actually, Pilgrim. They would just learn stuff and then go out somewhere where there were no doctors, and they'd be the doctor, right? It's the same kind of thing, yeah. There's a lot of stuff out there to go find. I show you guys the library.noaa. They will teach you how to access the free NOAA data and how to do data science. There are probably about 3 or 4 seminars a week that teach you guys how to access NOAA data. You say, I don't really want to do anything with weather. That's fine. If you're not doing anything, start doing something with weather. Go move into financial stuff when somebody will pay you for it. But while you're an amateur and while you're doing it for free, for fun basically, go find some of these things. Data.gov has like 310,000 open data sets. There's one, I actually have a project half open. I haven't finished it, but it's all the crime since like 1986 in Los Angeles. And then it's got where it happened. It's got what the outcome was. And I was just going to run it through a little Folium in Python, builds basically all the little pins. And I was just going to color code the pins and then run it from like 1986 to now. I think it ends in like 2021 or something. But it would be like all the crimes in Los Angeles. And it would just be this beautiful little fucking explosion of death all over. No, it wouldn't be all death, but car accidents and everything that happened. Every police report from like in Los Angeles from like 1986 to like 2021 is up there. So I was just doing that for fun, right? Just wanted to build a little project. There's also some really fun stuff. I should have posted this one. One of my favorite places to go on Reddit. Reddit's like one of the worst places on the internet. Some of the stuff's really fun. There's a place in there called Data is Beautiful. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen Data is Beautiful, but it's just graphs and charts that people have made. It's a really well done site. People put their original content on there and stuff. Weather prediction used to be one of the main. Yeah, I still run the supercomputer for NOAA. That's one of my jobs. I built what's called the WCOS2 program. Yeah, that's not spelled right, but it's fine. All right. Anyways, review all these things. How you get a hold of me, just email me. Well, for my students, they email me. For you guys, just hit me up on Discord or whatever. I do have to drop, guys. I have to go and I got to go to my end of stream thing. I got to go get in my college stuff for my students. I'm going to raid somebody over here on Twitch. Let's see who's doing stuff right now. Admiral Baru's on. I don't have anybody doing tech stuff. Who's doing tech stuff right now? Oh, there's robots. Kids are doing robots. We'll go watch that. All right. I appreciate you guys coming. I will see some of you guys later today. Hop in the courses. See if you learn something, and hopefully it'll be informative for you guys. I don't care if it's entertaining. I want it to be entertaining, but I care that it changes something for you and makes you better. So, all right, I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.